Department report. James?
Yes, Planning Commission did meet last Tuesday, as I mentioned. I think I did forget to mention, they also did recommend the approval of the GOCO dollars in the CIP. So I apologize, but they did meet Monday and supported both of those initiatives you approved today. Their next regular scheduled meeting is on March 13th. I do want to mention that the Planning Commission does also serve as the Design Review Board and Board of Adjustments. And the Design Review Board will probably be hearing a major design review of the proposed Wal-Mart probably in the near future. We have not received an application as of yet, but we do anticipate that here in the near future. In conjunction with that, Wal-Mart has rescheduled their open house. It sounds like it's going to be on March 8th. That'll be confirmed in next week's paper with full details. But in general, that open house format will be a walkthrough scenario where folks can arrive at the front door, pick up a comment card, go station to station, and have one-on-one discussions with a representative and subject matter expert regarding each element, whether it's the traffic study, access, Alpha Drive improvements, exterior elements like parking, exterior lighting, landscaping, screening elements, snow storage, exterior building architecture, items like that. Those are all items that thankfully we have a very strong land use development code as far as design standards go for buildings. So the Design Review Board has a pretty big job ahead of them reviewing this big project. This open house does give the public an opportunity to comment on all those elements. And certainly community residents as a whole, not just town residents, are invited to attend and provide comment on all those elements. Those comment cards will be forwarded to the Design Review Board for the consideration as they review the actual application in front of them. Again, those details will be in next week's Sun newspaper.
Vivian Rader, 47 Bennett Court. I just need some clarification. I've been going to a lot of the meetings and I'm getting conflicting information, and please forgive me, I can't always write notes as fast as Mr. Dickhoff is able to speak. At the Thursday meeting, it was stated that there were still some things regarding the Wal-Mart project that would involve public hearings and procedures. And one of the things there was the consolidation of the lots. But when we attended Tuesday night's planning board meeting, Mr. Dickhoff represented that that is purely an administrative thing and there would not be any hearings on consolidation of lots. Could I just get some clarification?
Yeah, I'm sorry for any confusion. In general, there are two public hearing processes required. The major design review, as I mentioned earlier, which the Planning Commission will do under their role as the major design review board, and the vacation of Aspen Park Circle. Those are the two required public hearing processes. I don't remember stating that the lot consolidations were a public hearing process. They're not in our code, they are administratively approved. Lot consolidations and boundary line adjustments are administratively approved. It's not just a one-person approval. It goes through all utility companies. It goes to the clerk, a county clerk and county assessor, just to ensure that everything is correct on those plats before they get recorded.
Before those changes are done, it's not just one person just signing off, right?
There's probably 8 signatures on the actual plat before it can be recorded with the county clerk.
Okay, and at the Thursday open forum too, maybe it's my misperception, but it's been shared with me by a lot of people, that really the only things left to be determined, because there's multi-use zoning there already at the Wal-Mart project, is the architectural appearance. But at the Tuesday meeting, it was shared that a lot of our concerns would be addressed by CDOT as far as traffic, Army Corps of Engineers for the wetlands, and fire concerns by the fire chief or fire department. So these are all things that still have to be done. My concern after listening Tuesday was that these are technical issues, like making sure the building's up to code as far as sprinklers and things like that. My concern is I'm not seeing addressed, and maybe I'm jumping the gun because I have some anxiety over the project, that the actual impact to the neighborhood and the community might not be fully addressed with the technical issues. Because when you look at a one-stop shopping center or building, there's a huge variety of products there, and there have been big box fires that are extremely toxic and have required hazmat. So that's different from the technical review as to the building being up to code. It goes more to the impact because of the type of business. And I just, from interactions I've had, the perception I have is that Wal-Mart being there, a 24-hour superstore, is really a natural segue from the older plan that was approved for Aspen Village, which is more of a townhome situation. And I'm wondering at what point, maybe I'm jumping the gun again, but at what point will it be addressed, the difference in impact of the type of business and building compared to the previously approved plan? Because I just don't really see that as a natural segue, and I think it's reasonable to understand a 24-hour store isn't the same as maybe a group of townhomes, even not just aesthetically, but when it comes to traffic, safety, noise, light, congestion. And I'm wondering if at what point you might consider having the developer perhaps do a new impact study, because I see this as very diverse, not similar in nature at all. And where would it be appropriate to request such a thing? Would that go to the planning board, and would it be after their Thursday?
Mr. Mitchell?
First of all, the approved zoning for this property is not for townhomes, it's commercial development. And the proposed use is consistent with that zoning, and no further impact studies are required because the use is consistent with a commercial zoning. That property was not set up for townhouses, it was set up for commercial development. There are townhouses adjacent, there are homes adjacent, that's true. But the particular property we're talking about, along 160 there, is all commercial development.
So when the old Aspen Springs plan was approved, when the neighbors maybe had we even known about what was going on, had opportunity for maybe input, had we ever been involved and included. Are you saying that we don't really have much to say now because the plan that was previously approved is okay to be transferred over to a 24-hour big box?
There is no change. There is no change in use in what's being proposed for the property. It's the same use as what was proposed in the original development, and that development was notified to the neighbors at the time it was passed. There's a requirement in our code to do so. We fulfilled that requirement, and the neighbors had input if they sought to have input.
Well, I can tell you, I never received any kind of notices that mailed out.
Where, how far away?
I'm right, just a little bit south, east, up the hill a little bit. Couple football fields.
Yeah, the notification requirement is within 300 feet, so you may not have received that.
Within 300 feet.
That's pretty standard across Colorado. So.
Okay. You can understand, though, that lightning noise trap is more than 300 feet, right?
Well, I might add that, again, I'll speak a little slower, I apologize, I know I speak fast, but the open house that's proposed to be scheduled on March 8th is your opportunity to provide comments for all the elements I described. It includes Alpha Drive improvements, it includes traffic analysis and studies, access points, exterior lighting that includes parking lot lighting, exterior building lighting, it includes landscaping, it includes shielding and screening from other uses, which would be across the street, the residential and townhome use. Architectural features on the building. It includes all those exterior elements. So I encourage you to show up at that open house and provide your comments. That is your opportunity. And as a county resident, as a town resident, that is your opportunity to provide those comments. Those comments will be forwarded on to the design review board, and they will take those in consideration when they hear the application from the applicant. If I would encourage you, if you have questions about what the details of those reviews are, I would look at our webpage, go to our land use development code in Article 6. Fortunately, the town invested a great amount of money and community effort. It wasn't just an effort for town residents. There were community participants from the county and town in the development of this land use development code. And for a municipality of our size, we should be blessed that we have such a strong design review code. Most small communities our size do not. We have a very strong design review code, and we make sure developments adhere to that code.
Right, I understand that, and I have been on the website doing a lot of research, and I've also researched the community development plan. That I don't know if that's an official adoption or just a guideline, but that's the portion that I see that goes to impact versus zoning. I think we can't just pretend it's all one thing. I understand the zoning issues, but I think community development plan, which includes interaction with the county and other agencies, really focuses a lot more on the impact, not just for me, and we do live in the Rocky Mountains, so where my property is, building a wall isn't going to take care of the noise and the lights. But my concern is the impact, and the impact studies that were done in 2005 that appear to be against this, because not just damage to the neighbors, but the community, the existing businesses, and what this community can support. So respectfully, I'm trying to draw attention to the difference between having multi-use zoning and true impact to the quality of life that I'm invested in, and in my property, the peaceful enjoyment of my life. Thank you.